Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Before I start this video, I actually just want to let you know I filmed this a little while ago and just haven't gotten around to editing it. It's about the bushfires that we've had in Australia recently, and since I filmed it we've actually had quite a lot of rain, which is awesome, much needed rain that's put out a lot of the fires and resolved a lot of the issues we were having with drought and stuff. It's still not great, like parts of Australia there's still fires and there's still drought, but it's a lot better than it was when I filmed this, what you're about to see. The other thing is I just wanted to mention that I've actually started a new channel now. It's called Freedom in Mind, and it's aimed at helping people with chronic health problems, so like chronic pain, autoimmune disease, anxiety, all that sort of stuff. So if you want to hear about my experience with this sort of thing, or if you have something similar yourself and you want to learn about how you can overcome these conditions, then definitely go and check out the videos. I'll put links in the description for the new channel and also for the website that I have related to the channel, so you can learn more. Even if you don't have chronic health conditions yourself, but you want to help support what I'm doing, then just go and check out the videos. Watch the videos, share them with people that you think they might help, and just help me get the word out there. Anyway, that's enough about that for now. Let's get into what I filmed when I went down the coast a little while ago. What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. I know you haven't seen me in a little while. I just checked my channel actually, and my last video that I made was nearly a year ago, so that blows my mind how quickly time goes when you're busy. But that's just what happens, I guess. But yeah, I'm down the coast at the moment. I'm sort of like South Coast, New South Wales. Just came down because I had some friends down here, a couple of groups of friends at different locations down the South Coast. And I just took it as a little opportunity to get away for a few days and spend some time at the beach, and yeah, just go on a little adventure. Use the van for what it's designed for, you know, what I made it for. This is kind of the best part about van life, is just being able to go away for a few days or a week or whatever you want to do, and just have everything with you and just cruise and just know that you don't have to pay for accommodation or transport or anything. Yeah, it's awesome. So that's what I've been doing the last few days. Basically just been at the beach and just hanging out with friends and stuff like that. At the moment I'm in or near Sussex Inlet. I'm sort of on the road into Sussex Inlet, and it's one of the areas that's been affected by the bushfires. And for anyone overseas, I'm sure you've probably heard, but Australia's had some pretty crazy bushfires this season. And I think some of them are still burning in certain areas, but this area is somewhere that got hit pretty hard. And driving along the main road, it's not too bad through most of what I've seen, but there's some areas where it's just totally burnt out, and you can look up on the mountains and instead of seeing the green tops of trees, it's all just brown dead leaves, and yeah, it's crazy. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to make a video and maybe just talk about what that means for van life, you know, like what van life is like when there's a natural disaster or, you know, one of these catastrophe situations, and yeah, just let you know my thoughts on it and some of what I see as being advantages to having a van, and then also some of the things that I've been thinking about while I've been watching this unfold on the news, you know, just like things that I hadn't necessarily thought of or weren't you know, top priority in my mind before, and then what I've realized should be something that's, you know, at least on your list. I'm just parked on the side of this little dirt access road in the bush, and I thought it'd be a good chance to take you outside and just show you around. We'll go for a little walk and have a look at what's left after the fire's been through here. So this is the view out the side of my van at the moment. As you can see, it's pretty barren. There's not much left alive out here. It's a little bit windy, so hopefully it doesn't affect the audio. But yeah, I'm just on the side of this dirt access road. They use it to get to the power lines, and there's not much greenery left here. It will come back. That's the thing with the Australian bush. It's actually, you know, I don't want to say designed, but it's evolved to work with fire. So a lot of the trees need fire, a lot of the plants need fire, and it does need to get cleared out every now and then, but it would be nice if it wasn't so out of control and we didn't lose everything in the process. But you can see there's already some little green sprouts starting to come back, and that'll happen pretty soon after a fire's been through an area. As soon as you get a little bit of rain, all the new life starts to come through. So in a way it is necessary, but it can be quite devastating as well. You know, we can lose a lot of homes and lives and things in the meantime. Like I mentioned before, the bushfires have got me thinking with relation to van life, the advantages that I can see of being mobile or living in a vehicle. When something like this happens, you know, and you have to get out quickly and evacuate an area, it's different to having a house. You know, if you've got everything with you in your vehicle, you're ready to go most of the time. You know, they're pretty much always just ready that if you did need to evacuate somewhere, you could. And not only that, but when you leave, you're going to have everything with you. You know, you're not going to be leaving things behind and having to make the tough decisions of what do I take, and you know, having to quickly pack things into your vehicle or whatever. The other thing that I thought is you've also got all the facilities with you. So if you've got your van or your whatever vehicle you're living in, if you've got it set up with everything that you need, you know, like stove and fridge and electricity and toilet and all that sort of stuff, then when you do evacuate or leave an area and you go somewhere else, you're already prepared. You know, you're already set up for everything that you need in that new location. And not only can it help you, but you can help other people with it too. So if you do evacuate and go somewhere, and people who are used to living in houses have also evacuated and they're in the same place, you can then help other people by keeping, you know, food cold in your fridge, or cooking, or, you know, offering people water and things like that, which other people may not have the ability to do because maybe they didn't have the time to get all those things ready before they left. Some things that I noticed while I was watching this thing unfold in the media that would definitely help, that I think people should put more thought into, just things to be more prepared really, is like when I saw some of the towns get surrounded by fire. So they had fire to the north, fire to the south, they had no road in and out, and the town basically shut down very, very quickly. Within a few days, the stores were out of food, and the fuel stations had no fuel. So there was no drinking water, no fuel, no food, all these sorts of things that people just assume are going to be there, and it's amazing how quickly they run out. I think you should stock up on those sorts of things. So like, one of the things that you can do is with fuel, for example, most people wait until their tank's empty to refill it. But you can just refill it every time it gets down to halfway or something like that, you know. Don't ever let it go so low that you couldn't get out if you needed to. The other thing is, like with a camper van, if you've got a water tank, don't wait until it runs out, you know, just do the same with the water tank as you would with the fuel tank. And that way you've always got enough on board. You know, whenever you have an opportunity to fill up, just fill up. And another thing with like the food, for example, seeing images of just empty shelves and people going into stores and there's just nothing left to buy, and no food. It would be worth just keeping just some long life food, you know, canned food and things like rice and that you can store for a long time. Keep, you know, even conservatively, let's just say like a week's supply, just so that if something happened, you know that you've got enough food to last for at least a week. You know, the more the better, but you know, at least you want to have enough food, and something like rice goes a long way. You know, it's easy to store and it lasts for forever pretty much. So you could just keep some spare. Along with the fuel as well, you could have spare fuel, so have some jerry cans. Like I've got a few jerry cans I could just fill up with diesel and just keep spare, just in case, you know, so that when you do run out, you can fill your own fuel up. Because that was one of the biggest things. People just didn't have enough fuel to even get out once they did open the roads up. You know, they were all lining up to get into the fuel stations. Along with the fuel as well would be like gas or propane. So if you use propane to cook with, you got to make sure you've got enough. Otherwise, once you run out, if there's no stations to fill up at, then that's it. You know, you can't cook anymore. Once you've got all the extra provisions sorted out, it's worth realizing that sometimes you're going to have to leave your vehicle. You know, like as much as that would suck, you know, you drive away with all the stuff in your van. There might come a time where the road's blocked, or you know, a fire surrounds you and you have to get out and run. You know, whatever it is, that's happened to people before, and it's worth being ready for that as well. You know, have just the absolute essentials in a backpack, for example. You know, some people like to set up bug out bags and things. Whatever your thing is, you know, just have everything, like the absolute bare essentials, ready to go. And that way, if you do have to leave your vehicle, you just grab your bag and run. And then as for where you'd head, like particularly in a bushfire situation, the best thing you can do, absolute best thing, is to head for water. So if you're near the coast, go to a beach. If not, maybe a river. And short of that, if you're not near any water, you really just want to go somewhere where there's nothing to burn. So, you know, like a desert sort of area with no trees. You basically just want to get as far away from the fuel as possible. Like we had people evacuating to beaches here, and they actually, sadly, they were instructed that if the alarm was sounded to get into the water and just sort of hope for the best. And I'm pretty sure from what I heard that actually happened. You know, the alarm sounded and people just had to climb into the ocean. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, that's just my thoughts when it comes to van life and natural disasters, and it's all just been in my head from watching all this stuff with the bushfires. Luckily, I wasn't affected too much by the bushfires, apart from a bit of smoke. The area that I live in was hit with bushfires, like pretty bad bushfires, only a year or two ago, so there wasn't really anything left to burn there. We had a couple sort of pop up in the area, but they were put out pretty quickly. But to anyone out there that is dealing with it, I wish you all the best, and I hope everyone's getting through it all right. And yeah, I'd like to know what you guys think about it. So leave your comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.